Okay, welcome back everyone to another video presentation. I'm in where else? My usual place that I love to go, Utah's West Desert. So today's going to be a little different. It's going to actually end up being a painting done in the studio. Right now I'm just working on location getting a sketch in. I've taken a photo. Between the photo and the sketch, I'll have something to work on back in the studio and finish it up. I'm having to do that because of the time frame I'm working with. I'm just kind of limited on time today, so I have to hurry out in the field. I did a couple of other projects, and now I've got to get back in time for other responsibilities. So the lines I'm putting in are just light and sketchy. There's nothing too heavy that a good application of watercolor can't integrate with or cover up. Now I'm working on a different kind of paper. This is Blick brand hot press paper, and it's a little different for me. I'm not too fond of hot press, but I've actually, you'll find out in this video that I actually fall quite a bit in love with it, and I'm quite surprised at what I end up with. It's a softer surfaced paper. It's not as heavily sized on the outside, and so I think I've fallen in love with a new paper. We will have to see. I plan on doing a few more paintings on this watercolor paper to see how it does. I like to use that 0.5 millimeter lead graphite pencil. It's something that I just never have to worry about sharpening. So I've got to pack it up and head home now, but on the way home I found this. And it was just a beautiful scene there as I was driving along back to my home in the Salt Lake Valley, driving through Cedar Valley. And those clouds above the southern end of the Ochre Mountains was just spectacular. Loved every minute of it. Kind of hated to come back, but anyway, this is the scene that I had up on my computer screen back in the studio as I was working. So here we are, ready to get going. And I have my usual start, a wet into wet, that allows me to drop just color in and let it start spreading right away. And sometimes it works as a foundation for colors that go on top. But here, with regard to this sky, I'm really working hard to lay it in once and leave it alone and not tickle or tinker with it after that. Like I said, I always figure I've got about one shot with that sky. And if I can get it done in one shot, I think it'll be the freshest, cleanest, bestest. Okay, shadow side of the clouds, the underside, changing that to a different kind of a violet tone. And as usual, one brush filled with paint, the other dipped in water to soften and direct textures and marks as I put them in. So now we're starting with the mountains that are sitting under that bank of clouds that are hanging over the tops of the peaks. So there's that little peekaboo that's going on there, and I'm just working with that. All the while paying close attention to edges. Well, okay. I'm gonna let you go here and listen to the music. I'll see you on the other side. So an example of how I'm not being overly faithful to the photo is that tall tree on the left. It wasn't nearly that tall, actually. It was intersecting the hillside and didn't really rise above it, and that created a compositional challenge for me. So I took the artistic license that I have and I raised the elevation of that juniper. So the paper that I'm working on is Blick brand hot press paper. And like I said, it's not as heavily sized as other brands. It's a little softer surface. Consequently, it receives the paint a little differently, and I don't get the kind of unwanted, over-detailed, every little thing that a sheet of watercolor paper can show and a hot press water paper can show in a painting, and so I really enjoyed that. Now, in a couple of minutes, you'll see the finished painting, and you will see that I actually did a few things to it beyond what I recorded in this recording. So I had to sit with it for a day or two, decide what it needed, and then I worked back into it and added a few little elements to finish it up. I was just using that little brush there, that little 1/2-inch brush, to pull out some lighter areas while the paint was still wet. And we're coming down near the end here, so I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and if you've done so, please let me know. Share with me your thoughts on what you've seen. All right, take care everyone. Have yourselves a great day.